Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy here, for nerds by nerds, hanging out with some of the crew.
I'm Ted.
I'm Nate.
And today we are going to be talking about the gnome subrace, the Svirfneblin, or Deep Gnome.
However you want to pronounce it.
Yeah, you know like how I say it? Svirfneblin?
Svirfneblin.
Svirfneblin. But if it's plural, isn't it Nebli?
Neblin, maybe.
Svirfneblins? How do you make it plural?
I don't know.
Is it already plural? I don't know. Maybe you guys can let us know.
Maybe it's like sheep and sheep.
It's possible.
Could be. I like Svirfneblin personally. It's fun to say. Try it. You'll like it.
All right. So we have our new sub race. And we got lots of interesting stuff going on here.
Oh, we do have the new subrace. Where did we get this sucker from?
The
Princes of Elemental Evil Player's Handbook Compendium thing.
Player's Companion for the Elemental Evil PDF download.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
It's free. Yeah, it'll be in the description too. I'll put a link there. It's actually, this is really cool. That although they're just a sub race, right? And we have the Monster Manual entry. I kind of feel like this is kind of historic for 5th edition.
I think so as well.
The Deep Gnome, but we won't get to that quite yet. First, the Deep Gnome. The first thing you need to know about Deep Gnome is they don't float; they sink. They're really, really freaking heavy. They're like a witch, I think, or is it a duck?
It's size 3 to 3.5 foot tall, weighs 80 to 120 pounds.
They're beefy.
Now my kid is this height, and he's like 40.
Yeah.
So I could not imagine trying to combine the mass of 3 of my kids together. To
It's
try.
stacked. Well, dense bones helps. My son's pretty heavy, but he's still not 120.
He's still not 80. What are you talking about? He what is he, 50?
I don't know. He gets pretty close though.
Dude, wait a minute. We need to bring out your kids so we can put them up here and be like, all right, multiply this by 3 or this by 2, and then you guys will know what we're talking about.
Just mush Xavier and Teddy together, and
we'll get to like the thin one.
You get a scrawny one.
Yeah, we'll get those. Yeah, the one that doesn't have a beer gut.
So they're gonna be, while they're 3 to 3.5 foot tall, they're gonna be wider than a human child. They're going to be slathed with, muscle and fat that's going to bulk them out more. But still, that is a lot of weight.
Well, yeah, you figure, at 3 foot, 3 foot tall, under 3 foot tall, they can be just as strong as a human. So
absolutely,
yeah. Since there's no really penalties in 5th edition. So I mean, that being said, that's one of the reasons why they're dense, I guess. But Svirfneblin is a really cool subrace for gnome. It's always been one of my favorites.
Yeah, I was sad when I didn't see it in the edition, but I also assumed that I wasn't going to see it in the startup. Yeah,
they had to leave room for the drow, man. The drow.
Oh, that's
that
right,
race is pretty much universally considered evil. Yeah, let's put that one in the player's handbook because
rather than the only good Underdark race.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Well, there's not too many famous Deep Gnomes. I guess I'm just going to leave it there.
yeah. And the one that there was actually in someone else's book. But, all right, so basically, just being a Deep Gnome doesn't get you very much. It gets you superior dark vision.
Well,
and
120 feet's good.
And it gets you stone camouflage.
Whoa.
Compared to a normal gnome.
Oh, okay.
And technically the undercommon.
Yeah, they get an extra language. But most forest gnomes get to speak to small woodland creatures.
Does a regular gnome get this bonus? The
get
advantage on saves?
No.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. I missed that.
They're really
regular
good.
gnome.
Yeah, but, so the gnome cunning, you have advantage on all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws against magic.
That's a gnome trait.
That's a gnome trait, and it's a very, very good gnome trait.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That
pretty much
encompasses
spell
a lot.
resistance.
You don't like me touching you? I'm touching you. I'm touching you.
Freak.
So yeah, I mean, that's a really good one, especially if you're going to go warrior, any kind of warrior class, or even like a monk class. Anything more martial isn't going to have good saves when it comes to that stuff. Okay. And so rolling with advantage is no small thing.
No, not at all. I mean, that's going to allow you to shrug off a lot of things.
And they're still smart. I mean, they get the +2 to intelligence, and then there are other bonuses to dex.
So if you're using the basic stat array and you want to go martial, you can get that bump to Dex, play a roguey type character, and not have that negative intelligence modifier, or you can definitely stat them
Be
out
smart. Yeah. If you're talking rogue or warrior type, no, fighter. Let's just say fighter. So with rogue, you have Arcane Trickster, which fits perfectly with these guys anyway.
Absolutely, yeah.
And intelligence is their key for their spellcasting. Eldritch Knight, also intelligence is a key.
Indeed.
So they are kind of optimized for that. I mean, you have to go with finesse weapons to be, if you want to be as optimized as possible.
Yeah.
Either way, you're going to have those good saves versus magic for intellectual. I don't think that matters as much for the rogue because I think they have dex and intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's con and strength for the fighter. Your good stats dex, and then you have advantage on all your mental saves if it's magic.
That's a good layout.
Yeah, so I mean they're pretty tough in that regards.
Yeah.
For being like 3 foot tall. They're like boulders. They're as heavy as a boulder too. So it all kinds of works out. Stone camouflage, again, with 5th edition, it doesn't really matter that you're not a rogue because you can take stealth as a class, or it's just a dexterity skill, whichever.
Mm-hmm.
But there's plenty of backgrounds that'll give you stealth.
Yep.
And there's a couple other ways of getting it, whether you're multi-classing or you're taking a feat or whatever.
Right.
But that being said, Deep Gnomes, feats, obviously our first one's already kind of spoken for.
Okay.
So when you get to 8th level and you can choose your feat that you want.
Yeah. So
rather than getting
as you said, this is historic. Now, a while back, we had a request that I do a race. I've got some custom races up.
Matter of fact, because of this thing, you're probably going to have to go back and revise and revisit Duergar.
Yeah, that's probably.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But as I said, I did some custom races over on Nerdarchy.com, and we had a request for Duergar. So since I was doing Duergar, I was going to do the Deep Gnome at the same time, and we have this brand new mechanic that's been introduced, and that's to have a racial specific feat to give them the abilities that the monster actually has. So I think that really is going to mold some of these more powerful races. So we've said in earlier videos that you're not really finished your apprenticeship until you finish 3rd level. So now,
unless you're a Deep Gnome, then it's 4th level.
Then you got to get the 4th level so you can get access to this feat. And man, the amount of spellcasting that's crammed into this is pretty crazy.
Well, yeah. So if an optional feat only available to you if you're a Deep Gnome is Svirfneblin magic. Prerequisite: you have to be a gnome, and specifically a Deep Gnome. Mm-hmm. But what you get is at will. You get to cast non-detection.
Only on yourself.
Only on yourself.
So there is that. But I mean, it's basically like, yeah, somebody's trying to create, locate you. Nope.
And then once a day, you get to cast blindness, deafness, blur, and disguise self.
When you get them back when you finish a long rest.
And you get them back when you finish a long. So I mean. There's a ton of utility there. Yeah. They're not chump spells.
No, not at all.
And some people,
Blur is fantastic.
I heard a little bit of crying about other races, blah blah blah. They get the spells right off the bat, but they get the spells off the bat, but they're not getting like a 2nd, 3rd level spell at will.
Yeah,
that's huge. Like the only other way to get that spell at will is to be like an 18th level wizard.
Yeah.
So that's pretty strong.
It's situational because they can still see you visibly. Yeah. So it's only when you're trying to find somebody with magic.
That's when you get camouflage.
Yeah, stone camouflage, non-detection. Yeah. So I mean, it is situational. If it wasn't a 3rd level spell, they probably could have done something like they did with the Aasimar and Tiefling and Drow and several other races. But they could have spread it out in that sense instead of giving them the feat. But I don't know. There's some of those spells. I mean, blur, blindness, deafness is 2nd. They're both 2nd level spells. Yeah. What's the last one? Disguise self. Okay, that's a 1st, but still a 1st and 2 2nd level spells. While the other people are getting I don't even non-detection. I'm not even sure if that is 3rd or 2nd. I don't know, but again, it's situational, but it is really good.
Yeah, like any situation where someone tries to detect you.
So essentially, you're getting 3 spells you can cast once a day, and you're getting a spell that you can cast at will. That's not a cantrip. That's a lot of potency. The only thing that comes close to this type of thing would be the dragon marks that have been released in the playtest of Eberron.
Yeah.
And you had to be 9th level to get access to the higher level stuff. And
And that went what, first, second, third?
Yeah.
Kind of the progression there.
So it's like you're getting these things, but I mean none of that is a spell at will.
No.
All of those things.
Well, you get a cantrip.
But I mean, even then, it's listed that you get these spells that you can cast once a day. It doesn't say you add this cantrip.
I feel like that one's kind of like a little ambiguous in their wording. Like, and they're notorious for that in certain places of the PHP and DMG. But everywhere else, cantrips are at will.
So yeah, that it begs the question of like, well, how is that worded? How is the DM going to?
I think a cantrip once per day is kind of lame.
But
they're already kind of lame.
Well, here's the thing, right?
So,
what cantrips kick ass in this edition?
I like cantrips.
Well, I mean, like weakness-wise, to have it because you can do it all the time. It's awesome.
Okay.
But if you could only do Mage Hand once a day, would you ever pick it?
Well, that's true.
Honestly, like really.
But we used to.
Yeah, some of us did. I hate that spell.
Yeah, but
so tossing the dragon marks aside. You've got this feat, and since this is an official product. I mean, this isn't Oh
yeah, this isn't playtest stuff. This came out on RPG Drive-Thru. So, am I saying it right or did I say it backwards? I always say that one, say it backwards. But RPG Drive-Thru, I believe it is. You can go, you can download it. It's it says Watts right on. I mean, you can see that they outsourced it to someplace, but Sasquatch.
It is only a. it is only a download, but it's got an official, kind of cover art to it.
It's official. I mean, this was going to be a product.
Yeah, Sasquatch Game Studio.
Yeah, this was going to be a product that they for whatever reason, they killed it as a product and decided to give it to us for free.
So you're going to get 25 pages worth of new races and new spells, and as you said, it's landmarking. It's brand new, and it's going to give us the ability to say, you know what. You think that race that you want to play is too powerful? Well, what if you break its abilities down into a feat that they can take, later?
It's really good. I'm specifically thinking about it for Thri-Kreen. I mean, no kidding. Who would have thought that I was thinking about it for Thri-Kreen?
As soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, that solves the Thri-Kreen problem.
Yeah, I haven't done the Thri-Kreen as a race yet because it was just like, psionics.
I was in that same boat. I love Thri-Kreen. We both are playing one in Ryan's, currently stalled Pathfinder game. Mm-hmm. And there's no way to convert them as a solid race into 5th.
Unless you can take into consideration
because they have all this stuff going on that's non-psionic, and then you throw the psionics on top of it. It's just overkill.
They had they had monster levels and ECL in 3rd edition, just to kind of balance all of the stuff that they get, and they're still like, ugh, that is a lot of stuff to trying to counterbalance. So
this might be an elegant solution.
Mm-hmm. I think so. And I'm just sorry that I didn't think of it first.
Well, I don't think it's that so much that it's going with what's already the precedent that's already out there.
Right. Yeah, and the power level of that is high, for what they get. Mm-hmm. So I feel it's appropriate for certain other races that get a good amount of spells as part of the thing they can do.
Right. I mean, like, this being said, like, I don't have everything memorized, so we'd have to go back and look at Dugar, read them, and really evaluate. Should they get this stuff at a higher level, or no? It can be a staggered like the Tiefling or the Azimor. Mm-hmm. But at least, like, if you're doing race design, the mechanic is there now. You have something to work with.
Yeah. Yes, it's a legitimate mechanic that's in the game now. So
yeah. So with that, man, we've tunneled this one out. We've burrowed through. We've dug deep into the bedrock.
Did we dig too deep?
We usually do. With that, you guys, let us know what you think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the drill.
You can check us out on nerdarchy.com. But also go check out our Patreon.
Help us bring you more awesome content.
You can also join the conversation over on Reddit or anything else, since I wasn't only going to mention that.
So until next time, stay nerdy.
Maybe you guys can let us know.
Maybe it's like sheep and sheep.
It's possible.
Could be. I like Svirfneblin personally. It's fun to say. Try it. You'll like it.
All right. So we have our new sub race. And we got lots of interesting stuff going on here.
Oh, we do have the new sub race. Where did we get this sucker from?
The
Princes of Elemental Evil Player's Handbook.
I'm Ted.
I'm Nate.
And today we are going to be talking about the gnome sub race, the Svirfneblin, or Deep Gnome.
However you want to pronounce it.
Yeah, you know like how I say it? Svirfneblin?
Svirfneblin.
Svirfneblin. But if it's plural, isn't it Nebli?
Neblin, maybe.
Svirfneblins? How do you make it plural?
I don't know.
Is it already plural? I don't know. Compendium thing?
Player's Companion to the Elemental Evil PDF download.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah, it'll be in the description too. I'll put a link there. It's actually, this is really cool. That although they're just a sub race, right? And we have the Monster Manual entry. I kind of feel like this is kind of historic for 5th edition.
I think so as well.
The Deep Gnome, but we won't get to that quite yet. First, the Deep Gnome. The first thing you need to know about Deep Gnome is they don't float; they sink. They're really, really freaking heavy. They're like a witch, I think, or is it a duck?
It's size 3 to 3.5 foot tall, weighs 80 to 120 pounds.
They're beefy, man.
Now my kid is this height, and he's like 40.
Yeah.
So I could not imagine trying to combine the.
Hey guys, Dave for Nerdarchy here. For nerds by nerds, hanging out with some of the crew.